Minister of State for National Development Alvin Tan says proposed plans for the redevelopment of Gillman Barracks and Sunset Way have not been finalised. Speaking in Parliament, he says the government will continue to engage the public after the formal consultation period ends on 6th August. And this could mean adjustments to current layout plans, as well as the amount of areas to be conserved. Alexandra Anand reports.
The future of Maju Forest is still being decided. For weeks, plans to clear part of the site for housing have drawn responses from residents as well as nature and heritage groups. That conversation was reflected in Parliament. Minister of State for National Development Alvin Tan made clear, while final plans for the forest have not yet been set in stone, housing remains one of Singapore's most pressing needs.
That is not. Household sizes are getting smaller. More young married couples prefer a home of their own to living with their parents or extended families. At the same time, many prefer to live near their parents so they can care for and support one another. More singles are also setting up homes of their own, and more seniors now live alone or only with their spouse.
And it's not just these ongoing trends, he says, that are driving demand.
Now, many members on both sides of this House have also called for the relaxation of eligibility criteria to provide wider access to public housing and shorter waiting times for built-to-order flats. And we understand and we share these aspirations. But if we want more Singaporeans to qualify for HDB housing and to get their homes sooner, then we must build more homes and we must build them faster.
Under the proposed plans, around 15 hectares of Maju Forest could make way for a new public housing estate. At Gillman Barracks, another housing development is being studied on around 40 hectares of land. Mr. Tan says sites with significant greenery and heritage value are not the government's first choice for development and are only considered after other options have been explored.
There will be occasions where no other suitable site can meet the same need in the same area and within the required time frame. And when that happens, we must weigh the trade-offs carefully and consider whether we can develop a site responsibly to meet an important national need, such as providing homes for Singaporeans.
He stressed that further engagements with stakeholders will continue. A report outlining responses to feedback and any amendments to the original set of plans will also be published.
More than 10 MPs also raised questions, including how public feedback will shape the final plans and whether alternative sites could be used instead. Here's Alex again with a report.
Could the planned housing estate at Sunset Way go ahead without redeveloping Maju Forest? That question was at the heart of a subsequent debate. These touched on alternative areas, including the former Raffles Junior College campus at Mount Sinai and a site at Albert Winsemius Lane.
I think we can look at alternative sites close to Maju Forest. The MCSP and the canal at Sunset Way have a currently construction site for the Cross Island Line, and if one was to build high there, it would have beautiful waterfront living. For an alternative site is also Clementi Avenue 5. I understand that it is a work site, a large big work site for the Cross Island Line, and it will be a rather eloquent and elegant position to put high-rise HDB flats.
We do our best to optimize the land use and to tap the vacant land and brownfield sites where possible, but there are no other suitable sites to meet the near-term demand in the vicinity. For example, the Albert Winsemius Lane MCSP is currently being used for LTA for the Cross Island Line. Clementi Avenue 5 also to support ongoing works for the Cross Island Line, but will be considered for residential development after the MRT line is complete.
Non-constituency MP Andre Low asked if plans for the future Maju MRT station on the upcoming Cross Island Line made redevelopment of the forest more likely.
If that being the case, will the government consider in the future, when planning MRT lines, alignments and station locations, that we take into account the location of sensitive ecological sites, such as Maju Forest, such that we do not perpetuate a vicious cycle where the station is planned for that location and therefore it compels the development of the forest?
There are a variety of ways in which we consider the availability of the land, whether the land has leases remaining, whether they have additional uses, whether the infrastructure surrounding the site is sufficient. That is one major consideration. When we look and select sites for homes for Singaporeans, it is not just on those considerations, but it's also very important for us to determine whether we can build amenities to support the community in housing, whether there is sufficient transport links, including stations.
Mr. Tan also responded to concerns that some younger Singaporeans may have felt let down by the proposal.
We can understand why our youths they feel strongly about this, and our youth ought to feel strongly about this. These are important issues, these are important considerations, and it means they treasure our heritage and they treasure our green spaces. And we will continue to engage them beyond and to get their feedback on where we can make adjustments to those sites, but then also to explain the rationale as well.
He called on youths to work with the government to find solutions, to build homes and protect green and heritage spaces, saying the two goals need not be incompatible.
The debate also turned to the role of the Sustainability and Environment Ministry, a question raised by Workers' Party MP Kenneth Tiong.
Many nature observers have expressed to me deep disappointment in what they perceive to be MSE's lack of leadership and ownership in the decisions on Gillman Barracks and Maju Forest, and their perception that MSE has gone missing on this issue. In this very year, 2026, that MSE has designated the year of climate adaptation, why has MSE not been seen leading and advocating for this forest?
I disagree with his characterization. The government makes decisions across different ministries. We speak to MSE, MSE gives us the feedback, but at the end of the day, we will have to make decisions based in the best interest of Singapore and Singaporeans. You cannot say you want housing, as the WP has already mentioned multiple times, and sit in this house, but yet then also in the same breath say, why don't you do this and why don't you do that?
To object to some of the decisions that has been made for MND is not how we work as a government. For us, any one of us standing in front of here, presenting a position to government, the rest of us are in support. So I think if a WP member is hoping for a fight between ministers, I think they will be disappointed.